For the program, how does it feel being in the driver's seat for the first time ever here in this Big South tournament?
I mean, to be honest, it feels pretty good. Just proud of my kids, proud of my coaches, and everything that they put in to make this happen. So, we're looking at it as one game at a time. But very happy to be where we are.
Coach, for you guys, I mean, going through a win like this and picking up a win like this, it's got to do wonders not only for these guys' confidence, but just moving forward, being battle tested. Just talk about the impact you hope that this win has heading into tomorrow for you guys.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like the 24th one-run game that we played on the year. So when you speak about battle tested, that's exactly what we are. I think we've been there, done that, and there's no panic. I try to tell these guys that it's one game, one pitch, one play at a time, and try to show up and just do a good job and play the game to the last out.
Talk about the player Brett the last month or so. He was player of the week a couple of weeks ago, and turns out he ends up having the game-winning hit today.
Brett Auckland is steady Eddie. I mean, he was, played at USC Sumter and went to Junior College World Series. So he knows what it's all about to win and how to come up big in big spots. And he hasn't played that way all year. It's been pretty steady, but moving him to the top of the lineup has been a really big plus for us. And he's come through and done some really good things as he did today.
And Coach, as many good things that you guys have done today, you still have 4 errors today. How do you combat that or adjust to that going into your next game?
Well, you may have noticed our starting third baseman, Glenn Casaselli, wasn't in there, and hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. But just attempting to find some continuity with, some guys. And Andrew Blatt, who played second base today, started off at shortstop earlier in the year. Avery was at short. We flip-flopped. Avery was at second. We flip-flopped those guys, and now, of course, Avery's at short, and Blatt was at second base today. Slagle, who is not the prototypical second baseman, he's 6'4", and doesn't run or have the range as those other guys, but he hits. So just finding the right pieces to put together to get the W's is the goal. So, having to do it a little bit unorthodox and not kind of the way that we scheduled it in the front end, but it seems to work, and we got to eliminate some of those errors. Those guys are more than capable of making the plays out there. We do have to do a better job. So just to address it, and at this point, they know how to play. I mean, there's no full-fledged preseason that I could go back to prepare for tomorrow. It's just you got to pat each other on the back and continue to move forward.
Well, speaking of unorthodox, this schedule with all the changes, how important is it to try to keep winning rather than fall into the bracket where the odds sort of become more insurmountable when it comes to winning this tournament?
I think it's everything. I think you have to stay on the winning side in order to be successful. And I know that everyone can be critical of one thing or another, but I think Big South's done a great job of trying to get us back to where we need to be, or at least make it feasible to get the games in within the format, the double elimination format, for the kids. And I think that was what was most important as we moved throughout the week and lost the first 2 days. So, I have nothing but, just good things to say on those ends. But it is what it is. And now that we're in this compacted schedule, you got to win, or it is pretty tough. I mean, you wind up having to play 2 games if you're able to win, the next day.
Well, how does your rotation stand at this point?
Pretty good on the front end and on the back end. I mean, we hadn't had to use a lot of guys. We brought 2 guys back that pitched yesterday. Hedrick and Miles both came back today, and Hedrick wasn't as sharp, and he admitted that at the end of the game there. And it was obvious, but Miles, the young freshman, fills the zone up and gives us a chance. He's able to throw multiple pitches for a strike relatively consistently. I think he's got some of the best numbers that we have on our staff. And for a young guy, he's been in big spots, a lot of big spots for us throughout the year. So we're fixed pretty well as we get down the stretch.
The program's second appearance in the Big South tournament. You guys pick up your second win this week. Just what does that milestone mean for you guys moving forward?
Well, I'm not going to downplay, one win versus another too much. I mean, it's huge for us. We reached the 30-game milestone yesterday, 31 today. And, for my kids and all the hard work that they put in, I think we were 27 wins for the past 3 years. We had one down year in between there, and we're at 24 wins the 3 years prior to that. And, so making those incremental steps has been huge. There's been a lot of players that have come through the program building that foundation. So I don't take any of the credit. We had a lot of guys sweat out there on our field and at all of the fields throughout our seasons to make this happen. So I want to give credit where credit's due, and I appreciate all the effort and all of my coaches in and throughout. So, it's huge. It's huge, and we want to keep going. We don't want this party to end anytime soon.